Hi, this is Amrita Sukumar, and I'm bringing to you this podcast called Unsettling. Look around you. Everyone is trying to create their own story. Make a tiny change in someone's life by just following their passion, and in turn, inspiring the others to follow suit. This podcast brings to you stories of people who have defied the definition of settled set by the society and have created their own. They have found happiness in their version of settled. What is yours? Did it ever happen to you? You looked up a recipe online and gave up on the idea of cooking just because half of the ingredients were missing? Cooking from scratch is easy if you have all the ingredients in place. What if I told you that you can get all the ingredients proportionally packed and delivered at your doorstep? All you have to do is follow the recipe. Curious? Let us find the answers together by welcoming our next guest and fellow unsettler, Shubham Maheshwari. Hello, Shubham. How are you?
Hi, Amrita. All fine. How are things at your end?
They are good too. I guess it's just raining outside, and already I couldn't go out. Now I have another bahana called rains. So I'm sitting at home.
Right. Yeah.
So, what was the menu today? Did you have all the ingredients, or did you have to order from Being Chef?
So I am like a regular customer of my own ideas. So I make sure that I cook every day using the meal kit. I mean, I think that's the only way through which you can constantly improve on your product and also remain confident about the idea with which you started. Otherwise, you will find hundreds of reasons, to be demotivated in the entire journey. So that conviction, you have to hold on that conviction by whatsoever mean you can. And so I try to cook every day and using the kit only, right? So I mean, yeah. So I prefer paranthas. I prefer kadai paneer. These are a couple of my favorite recipes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shubham, you have made the biggest transition from a mechanical engineer to an entrepreneur. How was that journey so far?
Oh, it was a crazy, unplanned journey, I would say. So while I was entering into engineering, right? So I was very passionate about physics, mathematics. So most of the people in my group, they were, going out for computer science engineering. I was like, dude, I want to do mechanical
Huh.
because I want to work into robotics and do all of those stuff. So that was the inclination. And when I entered the college, I really loved the branch in such. So we were the first batch to manufacture an ATV, all-terrain vehicle, in a college. It's a
Okay.
very old college. So I graduated from NIT Jaipur. It started from 1963, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And mechanical is one of the most famous branch, I would say, and also very highly ranked in the all the colleges across India. But most of the people would just come, take theoretical knowledge, and then just pass it out from the college. So we thought that, okay, can we somehow create an ATV? And we were just into first year, as in like, and then we somehow did it, and we did it for Society of Automotive Engineers.
Hmm.
So I was very much interested. I was part of robotics club in college, part of this automobile club that we only kind of founded apparently. But moving forward, in third, fourth year, I did a lot of internship from second year itself. So
Mm-hmm.
when I started working in industry, I realized that it's a very monotonous job. Let's say, so I worked with, I don't want to name the companies, but top-notch automobile companies in India.
Okay.
And so I thought that, okay, this is not something that I would want to do for my entire life.
Hmm.
Like a very, kind of a monotonous thing, very structured thing. I wanted to be unsettled in my life. I
Okay.
wanted to try a lot of things and do, a lot of experiments. And
Uh-huh.
I think that was also one of the major reasons that I didn't take up a core job. So I
Hmm.
was lucky enough to get placed into a consulting firm. It was a day zero placement. And so when I shifted to consulting, that was the first time that I shifted out of Jaipur. So I was born and brought up in Jaipur, studied in Jaipur, college in Jaipur.
Okay.
And I shifted to Gurgaon. And I
Uh-huh.
realized, boss, so I come from a Marwadi family. And for us, food is like the most important thing in the entire
Yes,
day.
that is true.
So, and it's taken care by our moms, तो sorted है. इतना कुछ सोचा नहीं कि okay, ठीक है, food can be a process which is full of so much of hassle. We never thought about it because we never went to kitchen practically.
Uh-huh.
And when you started, when you start living alone, and then you realize that, I mean, food is the most important part of your life, yet it's the most unsorted part also. And that was a thing that triggered the entire inclination towards entering into this industry and solving the issues with the industry. So we used to have a cook who was apparently, I would say, a very average cook,
Okay.
but we didn't have any other option, right? So we hired him, and then he used to cook. And then one fine day, he went on a undeclared vacation, and like
Acha.
he just vanished, and then 3-4 days we ordered from outside. I'm talking about 2013, so Matter Swiggy were not even in the picture. So we used to order and call a local restaurant and ask them to deliver. And then fourth day we thought, okay, we did mechanical engineering in college, right? And then cracked a day zero consulting job. I mean, cooking can't be. It's not a rocket science, right? Just let's enter the kitchen and let's do it.
Correct.
And we entered with full enthusiasm, and then we came out of the kitchen after 45 minutes. And what we cooked was a basic, a tari sabji of aloo and pyaj, which, because obviously we didn't have any other ingredients available with us. And second was that obviously we could not have made the chapatis and paranthas, so we cooked a basic rice, kind of a steamed rice thing.
Okay.
And trust me, it was so shitty that we realized, boss, and we were really enjoying the food, because the crux was that we created it.
Right.
That was that triggered in my mind that, okay, even after making a shitty food, I'm enjoying it. So what if I enable anyone and everyone to cook a good, awesome meal that they would have in a restaurant? And that was the basic thought with which, and then I started including mechanical engineering into this, as to how can we make it a very easy process, how can we introduce assembly line structure, how can we do multiple things. And then started working on this and left the job. And then, because I had this pure conviction with the idea, and so that was, I think, the basic reason for shifting from mechanical to food altogether.
You wanted to empower people to become a chef on their own, but as you said that you had to use everything that you learned in your mechanical engineering days to bring about this, and it started in 2014. So what was the research that you had to do initially to cope up with the change? I'm sure it was not an easy transition.
Yeah. So when we, even when, like, I left the job in February 14, I did a little bit of research as to what is the requirement in the market and what is the basic flow through which we can create this product.
Right.
Then when I left the job, I went out in the industry. I had a word with a lot of chefs, had a very long grill discussion. Then most of the industry experts said that upfront, that, boss, this is not even feasible. What you're saying is that you want to create a product using which even a kid who can be 8-year-old kid can cook the dish in the same way as we professional chefs are doing, right?
Right.
So they're saying that it's not feasible. And I was like, that I think logically this is the way and through which this can be done. And so yeah, that was the basic, I would say, difference between the industry experiment. And so I identified a couple of things before creating the product, as to, obviously Indian kitchens are not that, good open ventilated kitchen.
Correct.
So people would not like to spend too much of time in kitchen. So can we somehow create a product through which we can empower them to cook anything within 5 minutes? And this 5-minute came primarily because Maggi noodles is something which has highest penetration in the market, and their pitch is 2 minutes and your food is sorted. Halanki, it never comes out in 2 minutes, right? You will spend like 4 to 5 minutes, but people are okay to spend 4 to 5 minutes to cook their meals, right?
Right.
So that was the first thing that we identified, that, boss, we have to create a product in which we can, we have to empower anyone and everyone to cook anything within 5 minutes. Second was that, how can we make it least complex? Because let's say if I, as an amateur, want to try cooking, then I would go on a website and there will be too much of complication in the recipe. अब आप ये करें, अब आप पनीर को dark brown होने दीजिए, अब आप 2 चम्मच वो डालें, ये करें. So it's that too much of, so many factors through which you will see कि यार छोड़ो यार, मेरे को नहीं करना, इतना complication. And you will somehow the other way end up doing something wrong, and then you will like, अरे यार ये dish तो कैसे बन गया, इसमें नमक ज़्यादा हो गया.
Correct.
Because I was able to relate to it. Why I started and decided, because this is what I want to do. मैं मोटा मोटी हर हफ्ते में 2-3 दिन कुकिंग करता था. so that I should be able to understand what are the major issues that a person can face while cooking. But then we realized that can we somehow make it kind of a very least complex process? It should be so simple that even a kid can cook using it. And that's how we came up with a simple 8-step recipe card in which we summarize the cooking into very simple steps. And then third was that everyone is a different taste palette. So, you might like spicy, I might like non-spicy. So can we take into account that customization? So the basic idea was that, okay, create a product which has a demand in a market instead of creating a product and pushing it out in the market. And it took us around 3, 4, 5 months. And then I always believe that whatever amount of time it might take, but the base should be really strong. And that is what primarily we have done in past 5, 6 years, that, create that strong base. Because if you're creating a tall building on a very weak base, one big wave and then it's all gone.
Yes.
So, invest time in creating that strong base, and then the building will last for a very long duration. So, yeah. So I think that was one thing. So we didn't get too much of support in initial days because most of the people didn't believe in the idea. But then when we created the product, then we got a lot of support, appreciation from media houses, industry experts, and everywhere else. Yeah.
Yes. When I spoke to you last, I thought that, you're someone as normal as me. But then I realized this guy's a celebrity after you Google him.
No, I'm just a stupid common man. Nothing more, nothing less.
So, well, Shubham, on the internet, I also read that in the beginning you had to go and deliver everything on your own to understand the entire system. How was that experience?
I would say the initial days were the best days of my entire journey of being chef, because as obviously you were young, you were just 23, so absolutely totally out of your comfort zone, totally out of any kind of responsibilities that you have to take care of immediately. Moreover, that so obviously the energy that I have right now, I try to maintain the same level of energy as when I was 23, and I will try to do the same when I will be 40. But those initial days, when you have to build a company, it's a very exciting journey. So I used to deliver a lot of food to understand as to what possibly can go wrong in a driver or a rider and a consumer interaction. Because at the end of the day, when you're talking about, the rider is the only interface through which consumer is physically interacting with your company. So that is a very crucial thing, right? So you have to really, so basically what I thought that, okay, I have to, first of all, divide the entire company operations into 7, 8 parts and understand each part on my own, so that whatever system we are creating, we create a robust system through which is scalable yet profitable. We didn't want to create a company in which when we are scaling, the system, doesn't, support the entire operation. So I think that was the need of the hour, and that is what has also helped us in staying in the entire turmoil which came in food industry. And companies came up, they died, funded, non-funded. Even after, when we launched this entire DIY concept and we were the first mover in India, a lot of companies came up in India and they all were not able to survive the entire, and they died in 2 years.
To get everything right is like a big process, as you said.
So it's not even about getting everything right. It's just about that you should know at grassroots level about all the parts involved in the operation, so that whenever you are creating, so I can just sit in an AC room and create a theory, but that theory and practical should be in total sync,
Agreed.
So for that practical knowledge, you have to go out and, burn yourself in that sun, and then only you'll be able to understand as to what possible things can go wrong, what are the actual nuances. So we have always learned that if you just leave anything from the top of, let's say, whatever floor, it will come with an acceleration of G. But there is a lot of air resistance, there are a lot of other factors, right? So things are never ideal. Things are always with a lot of twist. So you have to understand that twist as much as you can. And still there will always be a lot of options in which you can improve yourself with time. But try to understand as much as you can in the initial days. So
it is very important to be a good leader, that you understand what is happening in your company. And for that, you have been you have gone to the grassroots level, understood the kinks and fixed those kinks. and that is why you're able to run the company so well. Kudos to you. So
Thank you so
now-
much. But yeah, I always say that, running a company well or success, it's all relative, right? I mean, but yeah, still, I mean, yeah, we're just trying to do whatever best we can do in whatever contribution we can make in the entire
Yeah.
Indian economy. So yeah, family.
of course there will be, as you said, there will be a lot of air resistance, but as long as you know your goal and you keep at it, and not
Right.
fall flat on your face, it's as good as anything.
Right.
So do you still deliver in Gurugram, or have you expanded now?
So we are still focusing in Gurgaon only.
Hmm.
And sorry for saying Gurgaon, because that is what we have been saying
No,
the
it's
entire. But
okay.
yeah,
I understand. I'm a layman, so I just Google the name, right? So it's fine.
right. No, so but yeah, so our entire philosophy is a little different. We wanted to master one city in such a way that we create a model which is scaled up at the entire city level, and then replicate it fast into other cities. So
Correct.
there are two modes of expansion. One is that you can increase the presence in multiple cities very fast,
Mhm.
or you become a king of a city, and
Hmm.
then you start expansion. So, I mean, obviously there are pros and cons of both the models,
Hmm.
but we selected and we thought of, because we are working on a very different, unique model, which has never even thought of in the food industry in India, which will
Yes.
change the entire landscape of food and nutrition primarily. So we are working on health and food both simultaneously. So yeah, we are working on a couple of things through which we want to first scale it up at a city level in Gurgaon, make it a profitable model, and then replicate it into other cities. So yeah, that's why we have always focused to understand one city first. And mota moti, it's like, let's say tier 1 city would have a certain kind of behavior, tier 2 would have a certain kind of behavior. You would
Agreed.
have to just twist it in tier 1. When you, let's say, when I scale from Gurgaon to Bangalore, I would twist a couple of things, but core will remain the same,
Hmm.
because the genre of population and the citizens over there, the market is moti same, right? So
Yeah.
that's why, so we have been doing a research on both tier 1 and tier 2 simultaneously, so that when we expand, we do it at a very faster rate.
It's mostly like the urbanization model that town planners use when they're designing a city. So they try a small module
Right.
working fine there, then they replicate it wherever necessary, and
Right,
then
right.
fix whatever problems are coming on the way, which I think is
Yeah,
good.
fixing a problem in one city and creating a robust model is much easier than fixing it simultaneously in 10 cities.
Agreed.
So that is what is our ideology till the time that we know that, okay, now this is good enough to be expanded. Let's say 90-95% things are done, then we'll start expanding, and we will do it very soon.
I hope so too. I hope you come to Pune so that I don't have to cook in life.
Right.
That is my dream.
No, we'll do it very soon. Yeah.
Thank you. Please do. Shubham, so what are the various cuisines that a layman can cook with the help of your DIY kits?
So we initially started with a lot of, along with Indian, Italian, Chinese, and we did a lot of Thai and other cuisines. But what we realized moving forward with time is that people still prefer. So we are a brand positioned for masses. Like we're a brand for masses. Our positioning is entirely for masses, and from price range to menu selection to offerings and other things. So masses primarily, they would want to cook something that they have eaten outside and they have a frame of reference to compare. So let's say if I say, a lot of the masses would have not have tried Thai curries, right? And if I give them a Thai recipe, they will cook it, but they would not have a frame of reference to compare. And that was our theory. So we saw that most of the people would go for pasta, for kadai paneer, for these conventional dishes which they have been consuming, since ages.
It's a very
And
long time, yes, of
they
course.
can
I
they
would
can they
go for the
can compare
pasta.
कि boss, हाँ, they can compare कि boss, मैंने वहाँ का पास्ता खाया, मेरे को अच्छा लगा और मैंने खुद बनाया. And they have a very clear frame of reference to compare, and then that gives them more conviction to stay with you as a consumer, right? And we stick to this theory, and that has worked for us. So yeah, so primarily the cuisines that we are dealing with is Indian, Italian, Chinese. We do a couple of different kind of breads, like half baked paranthas, lacha paranthas, stuffed paranthas, and other stuff. So yeah, I'm
Achha.
really into this.
Nice. So, can you give a little bit more detail about the DIY kits? What are the ingredients in it, and what all are there? How can a layman, cook using that?
So it's very simple that you place an order.
Hmm.
There are multiple channels through which you can place an order, online, offline, third-party applications, and whatever ways that you can possibly think of.
Okay.
It's all available. And once you place an order, then our team freshly. So basically, we have a set SOPs and other stuff.
Uh-huh.
I can't disclose much about our operations
problem.
thing as to how we can do it in 5 minutes and not other players can do it. But we send you a box which contain all the ingredients from oil to garnish. Everything is pre-chopped, pre-processed. All you have to do is just mix things up. And even if you're staying in a PG and don't have any functional kitchen or any ingredient, then also you'll end up cooking a dish. And you will just, end up, kind of cleaning only one dish, because that is what you will need to cook the entire dish. You will not, let's say if you start cooking from scratch in your kitchen, you will generally end up doing 10 or 5 to 10 dishes, cleaning 5 to 10 dishes.
Yes, of course.
Because you would use this for this, this for this. There are multiple operations that you perform, right? When you cook something, even if it is a very simple dish. What we leave for you, we take away all the hassle and we just ask you to have a fry pan and a ladle, and that's all you need to cook a dish within 5 minutes.
So the recipe is all provided by you?
Yeah, everything end to end. You don't need to go anywhere else. So it's so simple that even an 8-year-old kid can cook using it.
Okay, so it's that easy. So anybody who wants to try out and is in Gurgaon can definitely check this out.
Right.
So how do you make sure that the ingredients are fresh? I mean,
so we have a couple of different innovative packaging techniques and everything, and we are also working on a couple of other things through which we'll increase shelf life in a very, I would say, in like crazy amount. I mean, like it will be like months and without any preservative. So we are working on. So we have a very strong advisory board. There are people from Nestle's nutrition department head who advises in the entire food technology, nutrition technology. So we are working on a couple of patent technologies that will, increase the shelf life thing also, and also will change the entire landscape of food. So yeah. So we've done our research as to how to keep the ingredients fresh without adding any preservative.
Okay. So, how do you deal with the problem of food wastage? Usually when in such a big food industry, usually there is some kind of food wastage if this thing is not sold out within a certain period of time. How do you deal with that?
Right. So most of our operations part, like whatever has a lower shelf life, it's being done when an order is placed. So we have kind of, that is also another one thing that I'm not sure how much can I share about it openly.
Just whatever, you can give an overview of it. Don't go.
So we have created a very unique model through which we are managing our wastage to make it a zero waste kitchen. So first thing that we are doing is stopping food wastage happening in your kitchen. Let's say if you want to cook something, and if I talk about millennials kitchen, if they keep n number of ingredients, they don't want to do it, but passively what happens is that they end up wasting a lot of ingredients.
Correct.
Because some of the ingredients would pass on the expiry date, some would be rotten or something like that. So there is a lot of food wastage happening in our kitchens, right? As in like millennials kitchen, as a customer kitchen. And with our recipe kit, we kind of stop food wastage completely from your kitchen, because you don't need to keep any of the ingredients, right?
Okay.
And now, if I talk about our food wastage, managing the kitchen operations, that we have built a very systemized approach, which is quite automated, in which we have integrated multiple sales channels through which we are managing our back-end operations, so that we end up wasting zero food. And that is what we've achieved from past 4 years continuously. So yeah. And that is a different, we are working on a very unique model in which I can just on a very high level say that we have opened up multiple sales channel through which we are managing the end-to-end back-end operations, and managing it in such a way that we end up wasting zero food.
Okay, that seems like a lot of work, and I think you have kind of figured it out, but then of course you cannot go in details. With this,
Right.
Whatever you said is actually right, because I remember I was living in Bangalore for a year. And when I had to leave, there was this entire bucket. There was this bucket with all these masalas and everything. And I think 90% of it had expired. Because since we don't have the time, we don't dig that up and see what is there, what all do we have.
Right.
Only thing is that when we don't
Right.
find it, we just go and buy a new masala.
Right.
And
Right.
as you said, there is a lot of wastage which you are managing at grassroots level.
So
But
we as a millennial, we're actually not concerned about it. We're like, चलता है, छोड़ना यार, कितना रुपए लगा एक मसाले के पैकेट पे, 50 रुपए छोड़ो यार. So because we are so comfortable in our life and we don't have enough time, we have to go out, we have to chill with our friends, we have to do this and that. So this is totally on least priority for us. And that is what is the biggest concern, that we have taken our health, we have taken our daily meals so for granted. Is like, ठीक है, कोई नहीं. Abhi we are not even concerned, and that is what is also primarily the reason that like you will be shocked to know that 80% of the people in India are protein deficient, 75% are vitamin deficient, 70% of the urban Indian population is obese. And these are very alarming facts. So people are actually devoting, absolutely no time for their meals, for their health, and at the same time they're also adapting the entire unhealthy lifestyle. So it's like, दोनों तरफ से आपने अपना ही लॉस कर लिया, तो आप कहीं से उसको बैलेंस आउट भी नहीं कर रहे, उधर से भी नेगेटिव, इधर से भी नेगेटिव. So that is what is the major concern. And I mean, in this fast moving life, I mean, you can't expect them to act very rational, and it's okay. So that's what we identified as a problem, and we thought that, okay, you don't have time, you don't want to pay premium for managing all of this, for managing your health, for managing your nutrition, other thing, it's fine. We will sort this issue out for you, and we will not ask you for any premium, but at the same time we'll sort this problem for you. And that's how we have very uniquely placed a different business model which will change the entire landscape.
It is actually the need of the hour, as you said, since we are not I had a discussion about this with one of the other unsettlers who had come on my podcast. They said that the thing is that you go out there to earn your bread, and then you don't literally have time to cook it for yourself. Right. So that is the problem. Since you are also going out, not taking care of your health, what is the entire point of working so hard? So since you're solving that, that's wonderful. But then I also have one query. When you speak about healthy food, what is it that Being Fresh provides that is healthy, like as an option for millennials?
Okay, that is again something that I am not sure that how much
allowed to disclose. Okay, then we'll move on to the next query.
But it's like in a nutshell, what I can say is that we are kind of disrupting the entire daily meals market, and we have created a model in which, that's what I said in the previous answer also, that we have created a model in which we will not ask you for any premium, but at the same time we'll make money out of it, and we'll incorporate health into your day-to-day routine, into your day-to-day lifestyle in such a way, in such a convenient way, that it will be zero hassle for you. So in short, if I say, Amrita, I will make you healthy and will not ask you for any extra money that you are, so let's say if you're spending, let's say $1,000, random figure, right? I'm not asking you for any single penny. In that budget only, I'll make you achieve your body goal in a limited time frame which we mutually decide. So that is what we have built, and that will change the entire landscape of the daily meals and the health industry that we're talking about, especially for masses.
Okay, looking forward to this. Hopefully we will be able to see this soon, and if we are, this model I want to see, because I also want to lose
right. Right. Everyone
like everyone I want to lose
everyone in India wants to adapt a healthy lifestyle, but the problem is same with everyone, that boss यार, it's too much of effort यार, अभी छोड़ना यार, देखते हैं, करेंगे आज सोचते हैं हम करेंगे और फिर कल से फिर चल पार्टी करते हैं, तो मतलब वो इतना जल्दी शिफ्ट होता है. So उसकी वजह से, and so you will analyze that most of the people, they talk about health when they have an agenda, कि भैया मेरी 3 महीने में शादी हो रही है, मेरे को वेट लूज करना है, एजेंडा है, चलो ठीक है, वहीं पे गोल अचीव. अगर वो कुछ एजेंडा नहीं है ना, तो इट्स लाइक चल ठीक है, चलता है वाला एटीट्यूड है. So that is what is
वो कबीर के दोहे जैसा हुआ ना, but then it's like it's applied to remembering God. लेकिन सुख में सुमिरन सब करे, दुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. So it's similar to
That's
that when it comes to health. But
right, right.
सब दुख में याद करते हैं कि नहीं यार वेट लॉस करने का है, अभी बहुत प्रॉब्लम
हाँ,
वेट लॉस करना पड़ेगा.
अरे वो शादी आ रही है 3 महीने में यार, वो लहंगा फिट नहीं आ रहा, वो शेरवानी फिट नहीं आ रही, अभी लूज करने का,
एग्जैक्टली.
खत्म, बिल्कुल टारगेट पे. सो शादी हुई, उसके बाद फिर हेल्थ खत्म. तो हेल्थ कोई एक एजेंडा नहीं है बॉस, हेल्थ कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not a short term goal, it's a habit
Exactly.
that you have to incorporate into your day to day lifestyle, and we will help you do that.
Yeah, which we are not doing right now, but then hopefully in the near future होगा. सबको awareness आएगा और सब करेंगे, होगा, जरूर होगा.
बिल्कुल होगा यार, इसका वेव चालू हो गया. This post-COVID world would be a very different world altogether.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of structural changes that are happening. There are a lot of cyclical changes which will happen in this duration, and that things will resume as it was before. But just structural changes हो रहे हैं, that people are, you know, getting inclined toward vegan diet, vegan lifestyle, vegetarianism. So those occasional non-vegetarian are shifting to vegetarianism. People are becoming more conscious about health, Ayurvedic things and other stuff.
Yes.
So those structural changes are happening.
Yeah, so there will definitely be a change.
Right.
Shubham, moving forward, I wanted to ask you, I don't know whether you can answer this as well. How many people are there in your team? Can you talk about your team?
Yeah. So we have
Chalo,
we have a very strong team of we have a very strong team of 25 odd people.
Okay.
And most of them have been the part of the journey from the beginning itself. And yeah, I think team is the basic reason for wherever we are and whatever we are doing.
Okay.
And yeah. So we have people from ops, from marketing, from all the various backgrounds.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other people also. We have a very strong advisory board who guides us and who helps us in the entire, who have helped us in the entire journey. And you know, people from different backgrounds, people from finance, from entrepreneurship, from business, from like corporate alliance, from marketing, from food and nutrition.
Wow.
So that it becomes a good mix of all the knowledge that we can take from good, nice expert in their own respective fields.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that is what is a major, you know,
So
I
you
would
have
say
a
the base.
We have a big support that is helping you out in this journey. I dearly wish that you expand now.
Right, definitely. That is on the cards, as in like. So yeah, we're in the middle of a couple of expansion things only. So yeah, I mean, definitely you'll get the first call when we are expanding to.
Yes,
Don't worry about
yes, I will be the one to market it for sure from my end.
Right.
So Shubham, I want to know, what does a typical day in your life look like?
Okay, so a typical day is pretty much sorted in general. So first of all, there is no difference between a weekday and a weekend.
Okay.
I have a very different ideology. I believe that every day is important. You should not, you know, kind of crib about weekday and enjoy weekend. I mean, there is nothing bad about Monday and good about Sunday.
Exactly.
So if you want to create a balance, you can create a balance in your professional and personal, you know, lifestyle, and that ideally is it's a good way, right? See, entrepreneurship is about running a marathon, not a 100-meter race, right? So if you'll exhaust yourself very fast, then you'll not be able to hold for long. So as simple as that. So basically, I try to create a balance, you know, entire day in which I do a mix of 3-4 things. I do devote time for my health. I obviously do whatever I mentioned, the to-do list for the work, or my personal time with my friends, family, and obviously I do a little bit of yoga and meditation so that I can create that energy balance. So I try that every day I start as a new computer restarts, and then by the end of the day I should be shutting down the system.
Okay.
So it's really important. I mean, if you start living in days, then life becomes much more sorted. Otherwise, you know, it's like the baggage that you keep on, you know, that you keep on like, okay, now. So, you know, we generally we don't want to do it, but we generally end up living life in that way only, in which, okay, so this might sound a little filmy, but I truly believe that what is the guarantee that if I'm right now, let's say it's Wednesday, what is the guarantee that I'll be alive by Saturday or Sunday? So why should I not live this day in fullest way possible, and creating a balance and a mix of both work and personal life, and then somehow have this entire day fully enjoyed, and then okay, now let's talk about Thursday. So I mean, ideally, if you start living in this way, it's very addictive. I mean, addiction is a wrong word to say, but it's very addictive. And then you try to enjoy life in small moments, and I think that is what is life all about.
Yes, it's a holistic approach to live. I mean, as you said, you have to get up and do your meditation, then go to work and wind down. Winding down is so important that people keep on
Right.
missing it.
Right.
If you don't wind down, you're just going to be up all night, at least till 3 a.m.
Right.
And then the next day is going to get the brunt of it. Feel it. Yeah.
Right.
So, Shubham, which is your favorite dish? Which dish do you like cooking from scratch?
If I have to say from scratch, so I come from Rajasthan, right? And we guys are like big time chatoras that they mention. So in this COVID, I've tried a lot of dishes from scratch, like chole bhature. So it's a very tricky dish, bhatura. If it is being prepared in a very proper way, as in like light brown sekai and then proper phula hua and other stuff. It should not be oily. It should be like a Haldiram ka jo bhatura jo ek famous hai, jise hum kehte hain, right?
Yeah.
Like apt banana, the way you have to knead the dough and other stuff. So wo काफी tricky hai, but अच्छा है वो. So I like to experiment with this chaat kind of dishes that I like. Golgappe, making it from scratch and other stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
And in Indian, I would like to go with paneer lababda.
Achha.
That is one of the favorite dishes that I really enjoy having. Yeah.
Okay. So can you just adopt me, please? Like, I would love to just eat.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. My life is sorted.
No, it will be definitely be sorted. Don't worry. We'll come to Pune very soon.
Yay. Okay, Shubham. So coming to almost the end of the interview, I would like to ask you, do you have any message that you would like to give people who are just starting out in the food industry?
See, it's okay. Specifically to food, I would say that most of the people have, have been doing it in a very different way, in a very wrong approach. A lot of startups are burning cash. So I think that business ideally should be done in a very conventional way. That if you're investing 1 rupee, you should take out maybe 1 rupee 2 paisa out of it, right? So shuru se was, you have to be thinking in those lines only, right? It might, you might spend some time to achieve that profitability, but the way should always be towards profitability.
Correct.
So scale at a cost of profitability is something that I personally don't believe in. I try to believe in that is how we've created the model, that it should be scalable yet profitable. And now we are also giving social impact along with it. So yeah, but so in general, let's say if you're starting any venture, I mean, first of all, it's like a fashion. It's like in fashion these days, right? अरे क्या कर रहे हैं, बोर हो गए जॉब से, चलो स्टार्टअप कर लेते हैं. So it should not be this approach to start a venture. You should have a very strong conviction for an idea. At the time you won't have a strong conviction, you won't be able to stay for long in this, right? It may sound very rosy from an outside world, that as you are also saying ki I searched you on Google and you seem to be a celebrity and other stuff. So it's all rosy out in the world, but uske piche ka jo back end story hai na, it's trust me, it's full of challenges, full of surprises. So if by inherent nature you are not someone who have risk appetite, who loves to experiment things, who makes decision fast, so then you would have to think twice before starting up, right? Or maybe you would have to find the right set of partner who can take care of these things. Whatsoever business you will do, you will have to make very strong decisions and very fast. So if you have a tendency to procrastinate, then it will be something which will be in a very negative sense, holding you up in the entire growth thing. So you have to jot down these things and then see if once do whatever research you want to do whatever grilling you want to do whatever self introspection you want to do before starting up. And once you've done it, then stick to it. Then just forget everything else. Then forget what world is saying, good, bad. Just forget about it. And it should be your your entire journey should be like focus on this. Okay, this is what I'm seeing as a goal, and this is what I want to achieve. Leave
True.
everything else. And whatever, obviously, there will be a lot of environmental factors which will change, which will be in your favor, which will be against you. So you would have to adapt accordingly. But then just stick to it. So I always say that to win a game, you have to be in the game, right? So think 100 times before entering the game. Think it from all the perspective that are you doing it because of a strong conviction for an idea or for a need that you think, should be solved, or for a problem that you think is big enough to be solved and that you think that you can solve, or you're just doing it for the sake of, okay, something has happened in US, I want to copy it in India, or
Correct.
maybe my friend is doing something, let's do this. So do whatever grilling you have to do before starting, and once you start, then just stick to it. So things will shape up, and there will be times when you'll be tired, right? So when you get tired, just don't quit. You just take some rest, right? Instead of quitting, take rest. We should learn how to take rest instead of quitting. We generally quit very fast. We generally lose hope very fast. That is, I believe that if you want to stay for long in this entire startup thing and entrepreneurial thing, then you would have to learn how to take rest instead of quitting. And I have seen people, a couple of my friends who raised investment, then their companies, they just stopped their companies, and then they were like, the confidence was shattered, and good guys, like brilliant guys. So it's fine. I mean, take some rest and then, get up and then start doing it again.
Agreed.
So
I
there will be
agree.
a lot of environmental factors that you can't control, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
This COVID happened. A lot of good businesses, they just went out, right? I mean, so things will happen, right? Till the time you're enjoying each and every day in the journey, it's fine. When you don't enjoy, and when you sacrifice a lot, and you create a lot of expectation that one day I will do this, do that, and then I will enjoy. So things doesn't happen like that, right? And when you create a lot of expectation, then most of the time you end up getting disappointed because you create a goal or an expectation thinking about the ideal condition. किसी ने नहीं सोचा होगा ना कि कोविड होगा तो फिर अच्छा उस टाइम पे मेरा ये चल
बराबर.
So पर आइडियल तो चीज होती नहीं ना, एयर रेजिस्टेंस तो हमेशा रहेगा, तो वो जी की स्पीड से तो नीचे आएगा नहीं. So as simple as that. So you have to start enjoying it in every moment, and that is the only secret, that is the only way through which you can stay for long in this journey. Otherwise it will be a very difficult part to stick to.
I completely agree, because as you said, it's very difficult as an entrepreneur to survive. And if you don't like what you do, if you're not passionate about what you do, or the reason for starting it is just because you saw someone else do it, then what happens is when there is an adversity that comes your way, you tend to give up,
right,
as you said. And then you feel that it happened with that X person and it didn't happen for me. So you start comparing yourself, and that comparison is what is leading to your downfall. Rather find your idea yourself, figure things out yourself, and do it for you, not for someone else.
Right.
That is going to help you in the long run.
Right. And I think I see a lot of people, taking too much of a stress. I mean, see, at the end of the day, dhanda hi hai. It's just a part of your life. It's not your entire life.
Yes.
Whatever you do in your life, it's your own journey, boss. Everything else is just part of it, and we make it larger than our own life. As in, like, this is what it is. Yahi hai sab kuch. वो नहीं है ऐसा. It's just a part of your life. Your business is a part of your life. Your friends are one part of your life. Your family is one part of your life. Yes. At the end of the day, the most important thing is your own self, your own body, your own life. So there's nothing more important than that. So ठीक है, it's fine. You have tried your best. नहीं हो रहा, ठीक है, कुछ और करेंगे, कुछ और देखेंगे. Nothing to worry about. जब तक, whenever you are doing things with that mindset, I think things will be sorted. Otherwise, things might be really good, but I mean, that phase will also never remain like that, right? I mean, startup is all about ups and downs. So you might reach some good success, and then what? I mean, once you start seeing downfall, and you won't be able to accept it. You won't be able to handle it.
Yes.
So a person is generally being judged or governed by the way he handles his own failures, right? So that what shows the actual colors of that. Otherwise, success handling is It's there's nothing to handle in success, right? That people generally think, "Arey, success is बढ़िया chill hai." But handling success is the most crucial thing.
Yes.
Not flying too much high so that you can't just see the ground. And so there are a couple of things, basic things, nothing new that I'm sharing. But yeah, we generally don't inculcate it into our lifestyle, and then just we know about it, but we don't implement it. And then that is what is the, I think, biggest.
Yes, that is why we need someone like you to come on the podcast and tell people, remind people.
No. I'm just sharing my experience.
Going through it, yes. I just wanted you to share your journey so that everyone knows what are the problems that one has to face while going through it. And hopefully they will also know that it is not an easy journey and it's not la-di-da as it seems on the internet. It is a lot of work that has gone at the back end. So Shubham, coming to the final question, I wanted to ask you, what is your definition of settled?
Okay. I don't think that we ever settle in our life here. I mean, I think settling for me means death, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It might be a very strong statement to say, but yeah. I think life is all about being unsettled, because once you get settled, for me, that I'm saying.
Yes. For you, yes.
Yeah. So if I'm settled, if I'm comfortable in my life, I would not enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would want it to be, full of surprises, a lot of uncertainty, ups and downs. And so I like my life being unsettled, and I would like to be settled only when I die. That is what I do.
Fair enough. So Shubham, that was the end of all my questions that I had from my end. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I had such a blast understanding more about being chef and your initiative of making everyone a master chef, which is quite easy now. So anybody who is in Gurgaon, I hope I pronounced it right, can go and check out their app, check out their website.
Right.
So Shubham, can you share your website and your Instagram page?
Yeah. It's normal. It's easy. Beingchef.com. On Instagram, it's beingchef_India. Facebook, Being Chef India. Twitter, beingchef_India. So it's either Being Chef India or beingchef_India. One of the two handles that you can search on any of these things. And we're really, kind of, I would say, lucky to have a very good, loyal fan base. We have more than 1 lakh followers on Facebook. I think across India, we're the one of the very few brands with only single kitchen and that much of fan following. Even on Instagram, we just recently became active, and we have very good engagement on Instagram. Other also. So yeah, I think thanks for all the love that we get from our fan base. But yeah, in general, so yeah, I mean, you can follow this, and it was really a pleasure speaking with you. I think most of the questions were like totally, I think this was all spontaneous, right? For the people listening to this, it was not, it's not scripted. So yeah, and that is the best part that I liked about. So I've even before we had this conversation about doing this, I've listened to a couple of your this thing.
You did?
It was really exciting. Yeah. I mean, the way you have structured things, the way you take out the actual things, not just high level things, right? And that is what actually creates a difference. This shows that how much you are interested to do this entire thing. And congratulations to you for doing good, and I would not say great job in this entire thing.
Thank you.
Obviously it's good. Yeah, I mean, taking out and sharing experiences is what ideally everyone should be doing, because at the end of the day, we only learn from each other's experiences, and that's how we go ahead in the life. So,
that is the best way to learn, I feel, because even if you have theoretical knowledge about a lot of things out there, when you learn from someone's experiences, that's what you do, right? That is why you study history, so that you can learn from the past. You can learn from the past mistakes and not do the same mistakes again in your future. So that is my small attempt. Hopefully anybody who is starting out will learn something from you. And it was, I think the pleasure was all mine, because you make everything sound so easy, and I know it's a lot.
Yeah, I think that is what is the ideology of Being Chef also. Like, everything is easy. It's just that we complicate things, right? It's because of whatsoever things we have been, listening about, seeing about. It's all about the perception, right? So yeah, things are really simple. I mean, trust me, things are really simple. We just make them complicated.
Agreed. I completely agree with this point. I've learned it the hard way though, but then I completely agree with your point now.
Right.
So thank you, Shubham, for coming on the podcast. I will make sure that I add all the links in the description so that people can easily
Sure.
get in touch with you as soon as
Sure.
possible.
Sure.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Amrita. Thanks a lot.
Hello, people. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode and you like Unsettling, all you have to do is give me a feedback. And for that, please visit my Instagram page, that is amritasukumar_unsettling. And well, you can send me a DM or you can send me a mail. All the details are there on that page. I would love for you to just tell me how you feel. Yeah. And if you would like to share their stories, you have to let me know, because I would love to listen to them. Till then, stay tuned to Unsettling. Like, share, subscribe, follow, let your friends know, and stay safe. Yeah? Bye.